Thanks a lot. I'm in Baltimore County, and if you don't know this, right behind me is the Hampton Mansion. It was built in the 1790s. It started in the 1780s. And here to talk a little bit about the mansion and the many things that are here and the new exhibits that are here is none other than Gregory Weidman. Gregory, first of all, talk to us a little.
Charles.
Good morning. This is a bright and early morning too. Let's talk a little bit about what people will find here. This facility has been around for a long time.
It has. Well, in addition to the house having been completed in the 1790s, it descended through 7 generations of the same family, the Ridgeleys, until 1948. And in that year, it became a unit of the National Park Service as a National Historic Site. So it's only ever had 2 owners, the Ridgeley family and the National Park Service. This year, we have a very special focus, which is a Victorian Christmas, which focuses on the mid to late 19th century, because as we'll see, a number of our most important Christmas traditions that people think of as really the heart of their Christmas actually didn't get started till about 160 or 70 years ago during the Victorian era.
You've piqued my excitement. I know we piqued yours, so we're going to go inside and take a look. We've moved to the drawing room here in the mansion. One of the reasons why we moved here was because we're going to find out a little bit more about some of the enslaved individuals that were here and what they did for the holiday season. And to tell us a little bit more about that is Noquale. First of all, why don't you tell us about this lady here?
Yes, this is Nancy Davis, and this picture was taken in 1862. And in this picture, she's actually a free woman, because the second owner, Governor Charles Carter Ridgeley, he freed some of his enslaved people. And she had not been born yet, but her mother was freed when she was only 5 years old, and she was left with the Ridgeleys as a 5-year-old child. And she, as you can see here, she raised 3 generations of the Ridgeley's children.
Let's talk a little bit about this list here. What is this actually?
For 14 years, the third mistress, Eliza Eichelberger Ridgeley, and her daughter, Diety, kept a Christmas gift list of the gifts that they were giving to the enslaved children. And they do something that's not typical of slaveholders. They actually list the child's first and last name, which is great for people who are doing their genealogy, who can link themselves here. But they not only list what the children received, they also list other things. The child was too old and not getting anything. The child was bad, dead, gone. And gone meant that the person escaped. And many people do escape from this plantation.
Let's talk about some of the gifts, because we have them on the table behind us. Why don't you point out some of those?
Well, we have set out some examples of gifts that are listed on this sheet. Tin soldiers, marbles, and they're not like our marbles today that are made out of glass. They're actually made of wood. A lot of dolls, and your viewers will be more familiar with the blocks down there. So even in the mid-1800s, children were playing with blocks.
So we're now inside of the Victorian Christmas here at the mansion. Let's talk about some of the traditions that we now know as traditions as opposed to what they were before then.
Right. Well, we're in the music room, which is where we know the Ridgeley family put up their Christmas tree. But we take Christmas trees for granted now, but they actually were not widely used in America before the Victorian era. And it was Queen Victoria herself, who reigned from 1837 to 1901, who was of Germanic ancestry, as was her husband Albert. And they introduced the German tradition of having lighted Christmas trees to first England and Great Britain, and then because of her fame, it was popularized throughout the United States. The holiday exhibits will be up until what we call the traditional 12th night, which is January the 6th. The mansion's open Thursday through Sundays, and if you check Hampton National Historic Site's website, you can see the tour times.